Well, now we would just want to take a look at perhaps the chronology of events. As you well know, the Supreme Court is set to hear the submissions in the petition pitting Embakasi East Member of Parliament, Babu Owino, against his challenger, who was Francis Mureithi. That's in the 2017 general elections. Now, this side of Francis Mureithi, who's of the Jubilee Party, was not satisfied with the Court of Appeal ruling that upheld Babu Owino's win earlier this year. Well, there you have it, just basically a chronology of events in the Embakasi East contest. As you well know, August 2017, Paul Ongili alias Babu Owino was declared the Member of Parliament for Embakasi East. Francis Mureithi, who was his competitor in that particular election of the Jubilee Party, who actually garnered 42,253 votes in that particular election, went to court to actually contest Babu Owino's win in that particular election. Now, on the 13th of January 2018, the High Court ordered a vote recount in that particular constituency. Now, the outcome actually showed that Babu Owino was indeed the winner in terms of vote count, but still that wasn't enough to actually make him win this particular court case. Now, on the 2nd of March 2018, the High Court nullified Babu's election, citing election malpractice. Now, of course, this was one of the most challenging times for the Embakasi East Member of Parliament, Babu Owino. But fast forward to the 8th of the 6th, 2018, the Court of Appeal overturned the High Court ruling and declares Babu Owino the winner. Of course, he actually went to the Court of Appeal to contest the ruling by the High Court. Now, this was the move made by the 3-judge bench in the Court of Appeal. Now, still on that, Francis Mureithi appeals the ruling at the Supreme Court. Now, this is the level we are in right now. Francis Mureithi, who was the second, who got the second position in the August 2017 election in Embakasi East, actually moved to the Supreme Court, and will definitely be taking a look at what the Supreme Court has to say about this particular case. Now, just bear in mind that the Supreme Court is set to hear Mureithi's appeal. Now, the ruling is to be done on notice. Remember, this is the final move that either Babu Owino or Francis Mureithi can actually go. This is the highest court of the land, and the final decision by the Supreme Court stands. So it will be a trying moment for both Babu Owino, who is still the Embakasi East Member of Parliament, and his arch-rival Francis Mureithi. We'll definitely continue shedding light on this particular story, but we just want to cross over to Mark Namaswa, who was in the courts today and will actually tell us, as he joins us from the CBD studios, what to expect at the end of this contest. Mark Namaswa.
Now, Jesse, looking at what we had in court today concerning the submissions, this case is a one long drawn one that comes all the way from the High Court up to the Supreme Court. And in most cases, we've seen Supreme Court cases coming from presidential petitions, not exactly coming from parliamentary elections. Now, looking at the numbers that both Mureithi and Babu Owino had, it was quite a close tie. Looking at the results announced after the August 8th elections and going forward towards the time when there was a recount ordered by the High Court. Now, the High Court was in favor of Mureithi, and Babu Owino appealed against that. That went to the Court of Appeal, which ruled in favor of Babu Owino. But that tells you that the closeness of the contest makes it such a long-drawn battle, and it makes both the petitioner at this stage and the respondent quite determined to make sure that they come out as winners. But what was the point that was being argued upon today mostly was concerning the video evidence. Mureithi's side seems quite dissatisfied with the Court of Appeal decision not to put a lot of weight on their video evidence. Some of the arguments are based on the fact that they say they have video evidence that proves that people from the side associated, according to them, the side associated with Babu Winner, caused mayhem around the polling centers, and that made matters not to be a free and fair contest. But on the side of Babu Owino, in his defense led by counsel James Orengo, they argued that there was an extension concerning the voting time. There was also consideration that there was a peace that was restored in good time. So they say that even though there might be allegations that there was some disruption around that time, there is no really heavy basis that will make that an unfair contest. But what is on trial now concerning the video evidence and its admission in court. Now, I spoke to one of the counsels that is party to the ongoing case in court, and he told me that moving forward, they're looking at making courts be able to put more weight on video evidence, given that the same way witnesses can come to court and give evidence and say, I was with this person, I saw this happen, that is the same way they should also place weight on the matter of video evidence. Now, as you have earlier mentioned, the case will be, or the decision concerning this matter will be made by notice. Back to you, Jesse.
Well, thank you, Mark Namaswa. Obviously breaking down what we should expect from this Supreme Court proceedings as they get to hear the case that is pitting the Embakasi East contest of the Member of Parliament. That's Babu Owino against Francis Mureithi, who actually petitioned the ruling by the Court of Appeal. But as we mentioned earlier on today, the Supreme Court judge bench actually got to hear this particular case. Let's just take a look at what the judge bench had to say in regards to this particular Embakasi East petition case.
In this case, we have not been moved to admit any evidence. So what value is that submission to us in determining the appeal before us? What value is it to you, even if we were to agree with the Court of Appeal, or with you, that it would have been admitted? Then,
you know, there was a formal application to admit additional evidence. Did you make that formal application before the Court of Appeal?
There's no need to file an application to admit that evidence. Once you overturn the decision, then it is evidence. That evidence is before. And you have two choices as man and friend has submitted, to take it down to the High Court or to look at it. But to say that they had not been moved was, with respect, to act in disregard of the law. But it doesn't end there.
My Lord, after setting the background and summary of the findings of the High Court, the Court of Appeal then dealt with the appeal before it, which is found on page 1455 of the record, set out the grounds of appeal together with the application to strike out the appeal.